Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make on a tech project, choosing your database. We're putting two heavyweights in the ring today, MySQL and MongoDB. But forget all the dense technical stuff for a minute. We're going to look at this in a completely different light.
So let's flip this whole conversation on its head. What if picking a database wasn't just a technical choice, but, well, a creative one? Think about it. Are you an architect? Do you need that perfect detailed blueprint before you even think about laying a single brick? Or are you more of a sculptor, someone who finds the final shape by working with the clay in your hands? That right there, that's the core question we're tackling today.
All right, so let's meet our contenders. In one corner, you've got MySQL, the old-school, tried-and-true champion. And in the other, MongoDB, the nimble, new-age disruptor. And believe me, this isn't just about software. It's about two totally different philosophies on how to handle data. And this is where that whole architect versus sculptor thing really clicks. See, MySQL, our architect, is all about that rigid relational model. It needs a fixed blueprint, you know? Everything has to fit into neat tables and rows. But MongoDB, the sculptor, totally different story. It's a NoSQL database. It just hands you a lump of clay, basically a JSON-like document, and says, hey, shape this however you want. We're talking about two completely different toolkits for two very different kinds of builders. So let's dive into the world of our architect first, MySQL. The name of the game here is structure, planning, and total precision. You've got to have everything designed down to the last detail before you even think about putting data into it.
Okay, so what is a relational database, really? Well, at its heart, MySQL is an RDBMS. Just imagine a perfectly planned building. Each room is designed for a specific purpose, and you know exactly how it connects to every other room. The blueprints are locked in. That's the whole idea. Data is stored in these predefined tables, and everything has its proper designated place. No surprises.
And here's what that blueprint actually looks like in the real world. Before you can add a single user, you have to lay down the law with a command like create table. You're literally telling the database, okay, listen up. For every user, I expect an ID, which is a number, and a name, which is text. And once that blueprint is approved, man, it is set in stone.
But what happens when things change? Because they always do, right? Say you suddenly decide you need to track each user's age. Well, you can't just, add it. No, you have to submit a formal change order. You use a command like alter table. And this isn't a small thing. It changes the blueprint for every single record you already have. It's great for keeping things orderly, for sure. But wow, you can really feel how rigid this system is. Okay, enough with the blueprints. Let's switch gears completely and talk about our sculptor, MongoDB. This is a whole different universe. Forget the rulebook. Now we're just molding clay. So MongoDB is what we call a document-oriented database. And honestly, the clay metaphor is just perfect for this. Every single piece of your data is its own little sculpture. It's a self-contained JSON-like document. You can shape it, add a new piece to it, maybe shave a bit off, and it doesn't affect any of the other sculptures in your studio at all. Just look at this example right here. We've got a document for a guy named John, and hey, we decided to add a list of his skills. But what's the first thing you notice? Or what don't you notice? There's no create table anywhere. We just made it on the fly. The data and its structure are all bundled together in this one super flexible package. And this is where the magic really happens. We're adding a new user, Alice, and for her, we want to track her age. So, do we need a big formal alter command for the whole database? Absolutely not. You just add an age field to her document. That's it. John's document over there, it's completely untouched, doesn't even know this happened. That is what we mean by flexibility. Okay, so we get it. We've got the architect's strict structure versus the sculptor's free-form flexibility. But what happens when things get real? When your app suddenly gets 1 million users? How do these two philosophies actually perform under pressure? Time to put them to the test. When it comes to scaling, they have totally opposite strategies. MySQL, the architect, scales up. Think of it like this. You have one skyscraper, and to handle more people, you just build it taller and taller. You make one single server more and more powerful. More CPU, more RAM, the whole deal. MongoDB, our sculptor, is designed to scale out. Instead of building one skyscraper, you build a massive sprawling city. You just add and more servers to the fleet and spread the load across all of them. This next one is a huge deal. Consistency. How do you make sure your data is always 100% correct? Well, MySQL is built from the ground up to be ACID compliant. All you really need to know is that it's a super strict guarantee. Think of a bank transaction. It either goes through perfectly or it fails completely and everything rolls back. There's no in between. Correctness is priority number one. MongoDB, on the other hand, well, it was born in a world that craves speed and availability above all else. Now, to be fair, it does support ACID transactions now, but its DNA, its core architecture, is still wired for performance and flexibility first. It's just a different set of priorities.
All right, we've seen the philosophies, we've looked at the trade-offs. So what does this all mean for you? How do you actually choose? Simple. It's all about matching the right master to the right job.
So when do you call in the architect? You bring in MySQL when your data is predictable, when it's structured, and when things aren't going to change much. You need it when data integrity is everything. I'm talking banking systems, inventory management, places where a single mistake is a total disaster. If consistency is king for your project, the architect is your person.
And when do you need the sculptor? You hire MongoDB for the wild, unpredictable projects. When your data structure is evolving or you don't even know what it'll look like next month. Think about social media feeds, data from IoT devices, real-time analytics, stuff where you need to move fast, break things, and scale to the moon. When speed and flexibility are what matter most, the sculptor is your best friend.
All right, let's put it all on the table. Here's the final head-to-head summary. Think of this as your cheat sheet. It lays out all the big trade-offs we've been talking about. You've got relational versus NoSQL, a fixed schema versus a flexible one, scaling up versus scaling out. Every single line on here just drives home that core difference between the architect's way and the sculptor's way. Look, if you remember only one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. MySQL is for when you absolutely positively cannot compromise on data integrity and structure. And MongoDB, that's your champion when the real priorities are flexibility and massive speed at scale. So the next time you're starting a project and you have to make this call, stop asking which one of these is better. That's the wrong question. Ask yourself this instead. Does my project need the unshakable, rock-solid foundation of an architect, or does it need the creative, boundless freedom of a sculptor? Answer that, and you'll know exactly which tool to pick every single time.